The birthday book came out, and guess what was in it? Trump's greeting to his pal Epstein, and he signed it, and it was quite seamy. So what does Trump do? He says it's a forgery. They forged his signature. So it's his pattern, James. When charged, deny. When caught, lie. He learned it 40 years ago from Roy Cohn. He practiced it all the time. I mean, I don't think anybody can make a serious case that Trump didn't send that birthday greeting to Jeffrey Epstein. That's fine. But why is he lying about it? What else is he trying to cover up, James?
Because, well, first of all, Albert, you know right, Larry, he lies about everything.
That's true.
Okay, so there's not a single thing that he doesn't lie about.
Jeffrey Epstein. Trump has been trying to pretend, hey, he hardly even knew this criminal sexual predator, Jeffrey Epstein. And when the Wall Street Journal several weeks ago scooped that Trump actually had sent Epstein, a rather seamy 50th birthday card, Trump said that's untrue, that's a lie, and he sued the Wall Street Journal for, what was it, 10 million or 10 billion? I forget, but it was a high
10 trillion.
figure. 10 trillion, right. This week, guess what? The birthday book came out, and guess what was in it? Trump's greeting to his pal Epstein, and he signed it, and it was quite seamy. So what does Trump do? He says it's a forgery. I mean, they forged his signature. So it's his pattern, James. When charged, deny. When caught, lie. He learned it 40 years ago from Roy Cohn. He practiced it all the time. I mean, I don't think anybody can make a serious case that Trump didn't send that birthday greeting to Jeffrey Epstein. That's fine. But why is he lying about it? What else is he trying to cover up, James?
Because, well, first of all, Albert, you know right, Larry, he lies about everything.
That's true.
Okay, so there's not a single thing that he doesn't lie about. I think one of the things he wrote to Epstein is, quote, we have so much in common.
Yeah, they do. They did.
They do. That's fair enough. Fair enough. But this has got him kind of caught, because he had his hand was in a cookie jar. You know that. He knows that. A lot of kind of Republicans know that. This thing is just, it can't go away. Can't go away.
Well,
I don't know how hard. And the Democrats are not overly kicking this, which is probably pretty smart, because it's got its own momentum.
well,
you're not going to leave it alone.
Well, it does, except I think the bipartisan Tom Massey Ro Khanna discharge petition to require everything released.
That's smart.
What this Justice Department and what that James Comer committee, it's selective. There are things they're not going to let out. And right now, with that election in Virginia, they have 218 members, enough to forge the discharge petition when that new member is sworn in. So the question is, who are the people who won't sign it? And I want to check those 4 Republicans. I don't worry about Tom Massey. I actually don't worry about Marjorie Taylor Greene. But watch Nancy Mace. She's going to be pressured on this. She claims, or I guess she says, that she was assaulted sexually. And if she pulls back on this one, then she deserves all the criticism we can possibly mount against her. But that discharge petition, James, is close, and it's important.
Yes. And, this is causing them, the combination of, I keep coming back to the rhythm and the timing of politics.
Right.
Somebody used to say, remember, you were talking about parallel lines all meet in infinity, and somebody said, I never want to go to infinity because I'd just be nothing but parallel lines meeting out there. Like, we're now where we have a confluence of events that are politically enormously benefiting. We're winning every election out there. The economy is going the wrong way. They own it. The Epstein case is just a giant wet blanket on Republican politics all over the country. They have a terrible problem but what the Democrats are going to have to do to just keep the government open. There's a, and I was reading the story in the Times. Of course, be clear, Time's been very good to me. I like him. But under the story last night, I was reading about the 50-point victory that the Democrat had in Virginia, which is on top of what's happened in Florida and Iowa and God knows wherever else in the world. 5 stories linking to how bad a problem the Democrats have. I'm going to assure you, I'm a Democrat. You are. You vote mostly Democratic. I don't know what party you identify with, register, but it doesn't matter. Most of the people that are listening to this podcast, not all, we're glad to have anybody, for Democrat. Let me tell you, we are approaching summer. I just got to tell you, I know, and I wrote that we were discombobulated. We're not January anymore. We're not in March anymore. We're in a different season.
Yep.
And we got to understand that.
Yep.
And they can keep having all the panel discussions they want. Oh, the registration is down. Oh, everybody hates them. But it may be true. But what we do know is we're winning elections.
Right.
Now, and if we're not winning them for who we are, but who they are, that's fine with me because we get a presidential nominee. We're going to be able to get better definition to who we are. I don't give a shit why you vote for us. Okay, you can vote for us because you like us, or you can vote for us because you hate us more than them. But a vote's a vote.
Yeah, it sure is. And, if the Democrats hang tough and do well and win this fight over government funding, win maybe double-digit victories in Virginia and New Jersey this November, that paves, and also win a big victory in the California redistricting referendum, that paves the way for those midterms. And that's going to make Republicans, it's going to make them very nervous. It's going to create some real fissures. They won't know what to do. It's their district versus their total fealty to Trump. And you're going to get more retirements. And you're going to, and any place where you haven't recruited a candidate yet, it's going to be better, a lot easier to recruit a good Democratic candidate. I just would note one in that district in Scranton, Pennsylvania, it used to be that the Democrats thought, well, that's the one Republican seat. They beat a Democrat last time. It's going to be hard to take back. And this guy, incumbent's gotten in trouble. And then the Scranton mayor, she announced and put out one of the great opening ads I've ever seen. And I think that seat's gone from, I don't know, likely Republican to maybe a toss-up.
We're just not losing elections.
Right.
Okay, and I don't think we're going to lose that congressional. I have to look at it. I'm obviously familiar with Northeast Pennsylvania. We're just not losing, and I don't think we're going. And by the way, when you think about the Virginia race, and I'm getting more and more thinking the New Jersey race is here, it's hard to imagine a ceiling. It's really hard for me to figure out how Spanberger wins by less than double digits.
Yeah.
Then again, if you look what happened in Virginia 11, then they're just totally demoralized. And they're running on bathrooms. Literally, that's what the guy in Virginia 11th closed zone, that's what Sears is talking about.
The gubernatorial candidate for the GOP.
Right, gubernatorial candidate. In a big thing, American Bridge, thank you, full disclosure, I'm associated with him, I'm paid by him, got Ciccarelli, who is the Republican candidate in New Jersey, at a Republican fundraiser saying he wanted to have a 10% across-the-board sales tax. Bye-bye, Jack.
Oh, yeah.
You think that's going to get, tax policy well enough that those sales tax crushes middle and lower income people. And that's dominating the news cycle in New Jersey.
Well, and they want it, of course, so they can lower the income taxes for their wealthy contributors. Right. That's what it's all about.
Or, short hills.
James, did you get a chance to read that piece I sent you this morning, the Atlantic excerpt of Kamala Harris's book?
Oh man. There's part of me that feels sorry for the whole 2024 experience, but she's not going out her exit is not very glorious, I have to tell you.
Yeah.
Explain to people what her point is, and by the way, this is the most critical Joe Biden Democratic leaning podcast ever. But explain to our listeners exactly what her point is.
Yeah, she makes some points that I agree with, but will be a very important condition in a minute. She said that the decision for Biden to run again was reckless. It was reckless. And she says others should have stopped him. And I give her a little bit of credit. She said, I was in the worst position to go and stop him because I would have been the beneficiary. Great. I agree with that. She said there was staff constantly undercut her, the Biden staff. Well, I don't, maybe they did. He picked her. I mean, I'm sorry. She didn't just suddenly show up, and and they may have been some criticisms that were unfair, but a vice president can leave a footprint, and she didn't. But where she really falls down, and she didn't address it here, is once she got that nomination. I mean, why? And she was a mediocre candidate. She should have broken with Biden and selective issues, the cost of living and the border at the Chicago convention. She did not. She never did. And she carried that albatross all the way to election day. And now she says, well, he wasn't. She doesn't say he was unfit to serve. She said he was unfit to run again. And also, I think she should have picked Josh Shapiro, obviously, instead of Tim Walz. But the fact is that they both did not acquit themselves well, and it's going to go down as a sad chapter in Democratic political history.
I think it's fair to say that she was an okay presidential candidate. I mean, she had these restrictions on what she could say or not say,
but they were self-imposed.
I agree. No, I said she was a fair
Yeah.
candidate. She's been an awful post-presidential election person.
Yeah.
I mean, just awful. And all of the questions you have, the border, which, by the way, whether she was or not, she was supposedly the border czar. All right.
Well, she really wasn't, but she got hit with that.
Talk about this some that she was urged to make crime her signature issue when she took office back in January of 2021. And they were so intimidated by the left and so enamored by it. The answer was, and I know this is true, please don't deny it. Okay. They said, we just can't do that. And now you look at David Kennedy in the New York Times, you look around the country and the massive decrease in crime that took place under Joe Biden, and we didn't get a single goddamn vote for it.
Right.
And we should have been out front of it.
Yeah.
Not a single one.
So I guess my hope is that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris find nice places to go back to. They can give speeches if they want to. Biden can build his library at the University of Delaware. Harris can do some things in California. But you know something? Your time is gone as far as Democratic national politics. So just stay away.
Anybody that had anything to do with 2024, I've been with donors all week. They don't even want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Not Harris, not Waltz, not anybody. Nothing. They just so want to move on. Maybe it's unjustified. Maybe it's unfair. People have come back from defeats before, but I don't think this one is. I think the country's just moved way beyond all of this.
Totally agree.